This is gorgeous and insane. And it looks like you've got quite a few 500 series of pieces of equipment in here. Wow. Tell us about this.
So what we're doing right here, okay, is, you know, Sony has their 360 format.
Yep.
And if you go over to the Sony booth and you get your ear scanned, and you bring the USB thumb drive and you plug it in here, you can, that puts your HRTF profile from your ears into this into this process, and you can now mix an immersive on the console into the headphones, and you can pan stuff behind you and everything.
I wish I'd known.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back later today. Remember.
And what you do is you have the camera running when you go over there, so they can't turn you down. This is the immersive console.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gorgeous.
And so what we've got is, you start out right here with the upper plane, lower plane panner.
Yeah, you got that, Eric?
Yep, so it's lower plane and upper plane. Upper plane is 4 channels, it's quad, it's 2 in the front, 2 in the back.
Okay.
Okay, then you can pan down to this down here, and you've got left, center, right, which you can make it just left and right, or you can make it mono. So now it's left and right, now it's left, center, right.
Okay.
And with this panner, you can pan between the front and the rear speakers. Okay. But you can also hit this button, and now you pan through the side speakers into the rear speakers. So now you've got your 7.1 bass, and these are your 4. And then like all the other fixed series consoles, you've got the tilt-like equalizer, you got the high and the low pass sweep filter, you got an insert with a blend, and then you've got up to 3 inputs per channel that you can sum into there. So if you're doing, like, if you have 6 channels of background vocals, you can put them into 2 channels, okay? So this is basically a discrete bed for the entire 714 field. No objects. Now these are used, if you want to have objects, you can send something out and then you assign an object and you can move it around. So you can do up to 8 different objects out. Or these can be used as QSENs or whatever, you know? For monitoring, this is our new monitor controller. This has got, it's a relay-based gain structure. So there's 7 relays. Each relay does 1, 2, 4, 8, 16 dB. And as you turn this up, it's in 1 dB steps, which it's passive, okay? Then you can monitor 2 to 1, and it automatically configures your speakers, okay? You do 5.1, and this gives you your surround bed. 7.1.4, now this is your ceiling speakers, and this is your bed. Then you can go into Atmos or 360 or RO, and you can configure these any way you want.
Oh, wow.
All right?
You're a busy boy.
Yes. So you've got stereo console.
Companies are coming out with just that show. Not this.
I know.
Not this and that. They're just coming out with that.
We get busy a little bit.
Yeah, you know.
So you've got, the other thing about this, the immersive version of the console is it has an LFE send, okay? And it also has a 2-mix bus. Now the 2-mix bus is always tied to this panner. So no matter where the signal is panned, this panner will always run this bus. So if I've got something panned in the ceiling, this still works for left and right in the stereo. So what you can do is you can set up your immersive mix, and you can switch over to stereo, and you can monitor your stereo mix at the same time.
Oh, that's brilliant. That was a big discussion point last night. We had a meeting with a bunch of engineers, and Christian, one of my friends, German engineer, first of all, he works in metal, and he's like, at the moment, nobody cares about immersive yet, but it will happen. He's just like, I haven't heard a decent mix folded back down to stereo.
No, it doesn't. That's the thing. You can't fold it down to stereo. You can fold down to 5.1. Yeah. Now, what Ronald Prent does is he'll take 48 channels, and he'll do his 714 mix, and then he plays that back into the last 16 channels and does a 5.1 mix. So that takes only a few minutes, and then rewinds it, plays it back, and creates the stereo mix just by touching up a few faders, and he's done. He's got all 3 formats done in the same day, and he's not wasting money. And then someone says, well, can you do the stereo mix? And he says, yeah, I'll get it done tomorrow, and he goes to the beach.
I wonder if that's going to be the new world, though. At the moment, of course, it's all stereo mixers creating stems to then make into immersive.
Well, I think with all the deconstructive software that's out there, we'll probably end up with something that's as brainless as that. But I think, But I mean, this gives you the ability to recreate all 3 of them in the moment, with the same fader levels. You can pan it left and right, bring it down a little bit because it was up in the back, and you want to bring it up a little bit or bring it down a little bit. but it gives you the same pan field that you had set up.
Sure.
You know, you can switch between this panner or this panner up here, okay, for your stereo monitor. It gives you 2 external stereos. Then you can monitor the whole immersive bus, discrete out of the console into the speakers, or the RMU output and compare the two. And then you've also got an external input that you can do playback with. So this is all set up. It's got Q and all this stuff set up in it. So this is basically a 64 input immersive console. It has 2 master sections.
Yep.
It has all the buses for all these, and you can pick whatever bus you want, whatever tone of a console you want. You can take those op amps and transformers and put them in here.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And you have decided to load a lot of 500 series gear in here.
Well, I said to Jared, I said, we can either put signs up here or we can put outboard gear. And he says, well, I've got 32 modules in my studio. I say, great, bring them in. He's like,
Excellent. And a nice selection, if I dare say.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But it just shows you this is just whatever you want, you know? And then we've got down here, of course, Jeff Steiger, I called up Jeff and I said, hey, send me 16 modules to put in the console. So what does he do? We both use the same printer. We do our silk screening on a special kind of printer.
So he custom made it for you.
So he made he calls them Magma 1, Magma 2, Magma 3. Yeah. He does this, and of course some guy sees a picture of it and says, oh my God, I need all 16 of them.
Sure, I would say the same thing.
Yeah, see?
I need them.
Good marketing, yeah.
It's genius.
I need them, but now I got to build a studio.
Yeah.
Now this is our new EQ. This is called the Freak. This was named by Terry Lewis. I was at the studio and I was saying, hey, I'm coming out with a parametric, and I said, I don't know what to call it. He says, call it the Freak. I went like, done, you know?
There you go.
So this is the Freak. It's a 4-band parametric, but it's proportional Q. And it has 4 dB at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock, so you got a lot of room to do subtle stuff. But you can also lock the 2 middle bands into a peak mode and notch out little things.
Nice.
And the shelving mode, we're not doing shelving, I'm actually doing wide, which is like, it's like instead of doing this and going out forever, it goes out and it rolls off.
Okay.
So you don't have all that energy that's going to ruin your A to D converters, you know? Then we've got a new mic preamp, and this mic preamp is geared towards people that don't want color. Okay, and this is like for people that are using, you know, like the ML1 mic, the slate mic for doing the sampling. That has to go through a mic pre. Well, they don't make that mic pre anymore. I designed that original mic pre, but Jim, our other engineer, designed this, and this has got stepped gain. It's got a plus and minus 6 dB trim, and then an output fader. And then also at the very top, you can't see that, but at the very top there's a ribbon button.
Oh, nice.
And it increases the gain by 10 dB and disables phantom power, so you cannot blow out your microphone.
Very nice.
And then, of course, we have the Sunset Sound mic pre, which is world famous.
Which you also
and that is
in.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's we make that for Paul. This is actually Studio One at Sunset Sound.
I know it incredibly well.
Yeah.
I've probably only recorded in it 200 times.
Right, and the funny thing is everybody that's been taking pictures, if you look at the picture, the perspective, it's like, wait a minute, where was that? Oh, that was at the floor of the show, you know. This is our new patch-based system, and it comes in 2 versions, 64 by 64 or 32 by 32. And this is all relays, 100% relays, controlled by software.
Great.
So it passes mic, line, phantom power, control voltages, time code, MIDI, whatever you want. It does it. There's no distortion, nothing, okay? When you go back, you can look at a picture of it. It's like an apartment complex of relays. And then, of course, we have our new Me More.
Which is gorgeous, yeah.
This right here is a 12-channel mixer, 8 mono and 2 stereo. It has D-sub in the back and the bottom. The cool thing about this is we're coming out with a digital interface that you'll be able to go Dante out of your DAW directly to this with only a 2-sample delay going in and 2-sample delay coming out.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a special chip that we've got that we're working with a manufacturer on that does data transfer. It'll be 96K.
People ask me, when do I sleep? When do you sleep?
I don't. Yeah. We don't sleep. Neither one of us sleep. Yeah. So this is great, and it also has a Hear Me button that when you have this engaged, you can bring up the room sound into your own headphones, but it goes through a 2-to-1 compressor.
Nice.
So if you're a drummer, you can sit this next to you and you can get your drum perspective.
Nice.
Okay.
It's a really good touch.
And that's the same with the Collaborator, which is just the 4-channel thing. And then we've got this. Talk about sleep. This goes into the anti-sleep mode. This right here was geared towards the Slate Raven, which this is.
Yeah.
This right here has got 4 inputs, headphones, 3 speakers, a talkback and dim output, the talkback output that you can run into your own cue system.
Yep.
Headphone feed that you can either monitor this or something external. Then we have the same thing here that's got 8 inputs. These both have Bluetooth, okay? And then you've got a cue system that if you use the Yamaha AES cables that have 4 male, 4 female XLRs, you come in and go out, just you loop your cue feed through this. Now you can monitor them, and you can also talk to them through this. And they both have LFE, and so they're basically the same unit. Then we have, of course, the immersive one.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's almost everything we've got.
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. We need to come out and see you.
Yes, you should come up to Santa Barbara, lovely Santa Barbara.
You're in lovely Santa Barbara now?
Yes.
You're not in lovely Nashville anymore?
Oh no, we're in lovely Santa Barbara.
When did that happen?
In the last 3 months, we have a 13,000 square foot factory.
Yeah.
We have a guy who's a master wood guy who did this. I said to him, he says, what would you like to do for the wood? And I said, well, I don't know, what's a good kind of wood? He says, well, mahogany's really nice. I go, yeah, that'd be great. The next day, there's like pallets of wood, and he started gluing all this together.
Beautiful.
So we have a metal shop. We have 2 pick and place machines. We're building everything there. The whole bit.
Right. What speakers are those?
Those are Keith's new speakers. KRK, the guy.
I mean, they look like KRK on some kind of acid.
They're fucking amazing. Listen to this.
Yeah, please. No sub?
Now that rattle is not the speakers. That rattle is the speakers in the amp. Okay. Look at the throw on those things.
Yeah.
Okay. This is just a feed off of those. But these sound really, really nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
They look awesome. They look substantial as well. I imagine they weigh a ton.
They do. They weigh a ton and they sound really good.
What are they like? 400, 500 a side?
They're $4,000 a piece.
That's not bad, but what about power?
Oh God, I don't know, but they're loud. I haven't been able to, I mean, I can make the cones rattle, but I can't make them clip.
Yeah, they look like about 400 or 500 watts a side.
Yeah. So this right here, our wood guy said we need a shelf, and I have these brackets I already made, okay?
Yeah.
That they slide into these slots. And I said, here, he's got this tape that's super glue, but it's tape. And you put it on something, you peel it off, and whatever you stick to it, that's it. Done. It's over.
It's over.
So he puts little pieces on there, sticks it down, unhooks it, turns it over, drills it out, puts screws in it, and we're done.
Nice. I never heard of that.
Oh yeah, the fix buttons.
So congrats on going Wolff Audio. It's about bloody time.
I know. You know
all these different company names and stuff. And it's
I was told, like, when I worked at Datatronics, where API was originally got bought up by.
Yeah.
There was a guy there that we invented the credit card slot for payphones.
Nice.
Okay. And he also invented the speak and spell, and he invented Pong. This guy was really good. And he said to me, don't ever use your name, because if you ever screw up, you can never use your name again. So I've always been afraid of that. So after I got this,
Of course.
yeah. 2 weeks later, these guys go, we need to change the name to Wolff Audio. So I'm not going to get a Wolff Audio tattoo on this side.
Okay.
I don't think I need to, because everybody knows me.
Yeah, when Chris said to me, he goes, yeah, I changed it to Wolff, I was like, about bloody time.
I know, everybody says that. Everybody, there's 100% of the people like it. So I'm going like, well, every now and then I miss something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're like the man behind, I don't know. There was that one year when they had where it was the same year, the Slate came out, the 2T.
The Mix Factory.
Yeah, and also Sound techniques.
And then the red Lindell, red module.
So I was walking around NAMM, and everybody was like, well, Paul Wolff helped just design this, and Paul Wolff was like, I don't know, I honestly don't know how you sleep.
I don't.
That sounds very familiar, doesn't
You
it?
know how it is. If you want to make it in this world, you got to work.
Excellent. Thanks, Paul, you rock. Yay. You're the man. Hope you're doing marvelously well. I'm sitting here with the rather wonderful Flosstradamus. How are you? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm really good.
How long have you been here at NAMM?
I got here yesterday. I'm only doing 2 days this year.
For you, when you come here, what do you do? Who do you visit?
Well, it's cool. I actually do a bunch of things. Like, there's a lot of plug-in manufacturers here, so I do that. A little bit of the hardware. I like to see where like the electronic music hardware is. Over there's like Teenage Engineering. They make a bunch of cool like next level just toys for making music. So I see that. And then I like to do a lot of the AI stuff. There's a bunch of AI panels happening and kind of like what's the future of music. So
you've been dipping your toe into AI yourself, yeah?
Yeah. Last year when we spoke, I had started the AI company, and we had talked about maybe doing something, but it's grown so much more. We built an app and a plugin where you can do voice cloning on your computer. A lot of the AI voice cloning stuff is like through the cloud, but the thing we built is right on your computer. You can use it on your desktop.
What's it called?
It's called Replay.
Replay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, been doing that, and I've been advising for a bunch of AI companies. I've been pretty much all AI since I last saw you.
What about you? Still going out and doing shows?
Yeah. I had shows last weekend. I have this weekend off, and then next weekend I'm back out. So yeah, doing it.
Excellent. So give us so is this software available to like anybody? It's an app?
It's fully free. We're giving it out for free. You can clone voices, you can do whatever you want with it. And also it's built-in stem separation, so if you have a song that's like a fully mixed song but you want to change the voice, you can do that with our app. But we're giving it away for free. Anyone can use it. And it's just like a fun little tool that we found use in, and we're just trying to share that with the public.
That's amazing. Replay. You get it on iPhones?
No, we do have a web version called, there's a website called weights.gg. It's WEIGHT, like weights with plural.gg. And that's all on the web. You can use it, do the same thing on the web as well if you want to be out of your DAW, if you need to.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And he did actually take one of the songs I wrote years ago with Chris Hall from Stabbing Westwood. Cool. He and I wrote it that I sang, and you just turned me into John and Paul.
Yeah. I converted it to John Lennon lead vocal, and then Paul is supporting, so kind of a Beatles homage or whatever, but with his voice as the initial.
So we'll make that available for download.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Maybe Eric will play a little bit, and you guys and girls can have a listen to that and see what you think.
Inside this lie, and the wood has grown too deep to be stitched up with a butterfly. You know I will take the pain. I would bleed for you.
I just heard it on the phone through the speaker in a very noisy NAMM environment.
If it is played on there, don't judge the mix. That's not my forte. That's his forte. But it's still a cool use of the technology. So yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It was weird because I could only hear it obviously through the speaker, but I could hear the Liverpool accent.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
So I'm like, which is pretty crazy. It makes it a lot cooler than my voice.
It gives a character. I don't know if it's better or worse, but it's cool.
No, it's great. I've been seeing AI. I don't know if except in your world where it's being used for something really dramatic, like changing voices and stuff like that. Most of the AI I see incorporated is more about speeding things up.
Yes.
Not like completely dramatically changing something.
But I like I was saying, I love the AI stuff that can do that. It can keep you in the flow state, as they call it, or whatever. When I'm creating and I have to do EQ cuts or think about compression or something, it can take me away from my initial idea a lot of times.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool if there were these things that are just automated in AI for me. Like even our arpeggiator is like a form of AI in a weird way. Sure. I don't have to play each one of those notes. I can just hold the chord, it'll play those notes. So I don't know. I like that there's versions of that can just make it so I can stay in a flow state. But there's another thing I've been working with. I'm working with this company called Suno, and you can actually just type lyrics in and hit generate, and it'll generate a whole song in the genre you pick. I'll send it to you. You should check this out. It's like mind-blowing. Like seriously. Like
Is it scary?
It's scary. No, seriously.
Yeah,
this
I
is
believe
like
it.
it's wild. Like a lot of these things, like when they were doing the image generation AI, where you could type text and it would make an image, I was like, oh, that's cool, that's cool. And then I was like, music, it'll be 5 years from now, whatever. And then now it's here today. Like, it's why? It's seriously why. I'll try this out. It's so cool.
If you, for instance, I suppose this is probably the question everybody's thinking of when you say that. What about if you say, you know, write a song about a dog falling in love with a cow? I'm being silly, obvious.
Yes.
If I write that in and it gives me a lyric, if I write it again, is it going to give me a different lyric?
Yes. Yeah, it does. When you hit generate, if you do it in that way, if you like prompt it, it'll give you 2 songs. It'll generate 2 with 2 different lyric patterns.
Yeah.
But there's an option that you can actually type in your own lyrics. So you can even, if you have this dog song, you can actually type it in yourself and hit generate, and it'll generate it, and you can pick whatever genre you want. And you can make weird genres up too. Like, I want a jazz EDM song or something, and it'll find a middle ground and generate a new type of music with the lyrics that you put in. It's so cool. The dog thing, I'll show you in a minute. It's so cool how this works.
Yeah, send me that. I know I want to see it now.
All right, cool. Let's do it. I mean, I'm advising for them, so it'd be actually cool to promote it a little bit. And we'll do this. So you pick. Hopefully the internet will.
Yeah, it's pretty bad here.
But it's okay. We'll do it. So we'll use your theory of what you said. Or you wanted a song about a dog.
Dog falling in love with a cow.
Okay, what genre?
Let's go techno reggae.
Perfect.
Which is probably reggaeton, but yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's generating 2 songs right now, and each one of those songs will have a different lyrics and a different tone, and maybe even like a different singer on it.
Paws and Hooves.
Okay, yeah. So one's called Paws and Hooves.
One's called
Rasta Puppy Love. We'll start with Rasta Puppy Love.
When I feel up where the sun shines bright, this is dog named Charlie, living the island life. One day he saw a cloud named Daisy with her big brown eyes, driving him crazy. Rasta Puppy Love, can't you see? Can't you see? A dog and a cow, what a sight to be. What a sight. They dance all day under the Jamaican sky. Under the sky. Rasta Puppy Love, don't ask why.
Free. Yeah, for free. It generates today, who knows when things will be in the future, but today it generates a 128 kbps file.
Yeah.
And it does it for 1 minute and 20 seconds long. But you can continue, you can make a full song out of it if you want. But you were asking me if this scares me, and it makes me optimistic and scared at the same time. And I think that's,
that took a few seconds on a slow internet.
And the cool thing with this too is it wrote lyrics that actually gave you an idea. So if I were a songwriter, I could use this as a way to maybe even be inspired. I have some ideas for your lyrics. Let's say I can type those out, and I can generate multiple different genres and different styles, and it'll come in different deliveries too. So maybe it'll give me inspiration. Then I can take it to my song and then like interpret it into my workflow. It's kind of a cool way of doing it. There's a lot of cool new tools out, but yeah.
That is nuts.
It's actually fun, and like you and your kids can play with it too. It's actually just a fun thing, but there also are professional uses you can do with it too.
And it's completely free.
Yeah, completely free. You get 50 credits a day for free, so you can use, each generation does 2 credits.
Yeah.
So you can burn through those pretty quick, but there's tiered plans. It's only $30 a month for 10,000 credits. So it's really affordable. It's really easy, so yeah.
That is nuts.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things happening in music and tech that are both scary and amazing at the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a really cool time for this. But
Amazing. Floss, thanks ever so much.
thank you so much. Yeah.
rock.
Good seeing you. Yeah. For anyone that wants to check out any of the AI stuff I did, website is ruben.audio, rubin.audio. The app is at tryreplay.io. And then our other websites are all featured on there. You can download all the AI stuff you need. And yeah, hopefully I'll be seeing you guys soon. Be awesome.
And we'll put a link down below so you don't forget.
Yep.
Thanks ever so much.
Thank you, brother.
You rock.
Yeah, man. Peace.
So, we're with our friend Nia. How the devil are you?
Good, pretty good.
At SoundRadix. This is exciting because 2 things. You can do a little B-roll intersect. Joe Ciccarelli just walked past and stopped and talked to us for about 20 minutes, who also uses this plugin we're going to talk about. And you've got one of our sessions up, which was recorded at Sunset Sound, which of course, Joe is synonymous with. So
And it sounds beautiful.
it sounds like a perfect storm.
Right,
so you've got an update here on Auto Align.
That's right. So we're actually showing an Autoline tech preview running as an Array plugin in Pro Tools, just coming in June. And what's
fantastic
cool about it is you don't have to capture anymore. Just initiate Autoline of all the tracks,
Oh, wow.
Just appear right here, like next to these little guys, and it'll just read all the files and just click a line and you're done. Another advantage is there's no latency anymore because it's an AI plugin.
That is amazing.
That's pretty cool. And I have all the tracks right here, all the tracks in the session basically, the drums, piano. I think you're familiar with the session pretty well.
I know the song very well, yes.
So, and here's just a little preview how it sounds like. So, without auto line, it sounded pretty amazing already.
It's being complimented because I recorded it.
It truly does sound amazing. So,
Oh, you're very kind.
so
Yeah, this was a live performance. Everybody in the room, including
right.
the vocals, were done live with the piano.
So this is before the line. Right, and what we see here is all the waveforms overlaid one on top of another, so you can actually see how that's influencing the phase. Right, so this is off, and you see how they're now aligned and are in phase, and this is how it sounds like.
Oh wow, the kick just came to life.
Right?
And that's with no compression or EQ or anything.
Nothing. This is
Just as I recorded it.
Just clean session.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Actually recorded everything. No effects at all. So this is just phase protection.
That's just amazing. Play me a little bit on and off again. I want to hear this.
Here we go. So
Off.
off. Off.
It's incredible. That's John Bolton on bass, you know, who plays in the Who.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Great Blair Sinter on drums.
They're ready. Yeah. Again.
Where'd the bass go?
See?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hopefully through the little mic. Did you get some of this?
You can hear the difference.
You can hear the difference in the little mic? Yes.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we also added, so the new environment version, you can now toggle individual channel spatial optimization.
So treat me like a dummy. Where you put this on where?
So right here. It's in this section of models where you have, this is
amazing.
where area is going to be.
That's absolutely amazing.
And all these instances are talking to each other, so actually, these are all instances of auto line. You see them all in one screen, right? They're all communicating to each other.
That's absolutely amazing. Yeah, the difference is stark, and I'm glad that Eric said he could pick it up, even with the little mics.
And in 2.1, we added more control. That's what I call it. We call it the shift to control update. So you can turn the individual phase shifting off. You can do just phase optimization without time alignment if you don't want to, or just time alignment.
Yeah, how much is it?
So it's $199.
Well, it basically just took my basic tracks and made it into a mix. So wait there, how much would I charge for the mix? Less the play. It's a good deal.
The same, but you know, bigger margins for you.
Yeah. Nia has very kindly allowed us to give away 3 copies of this. So if you look down below, there will be a link where you can enter to win 1 of 3 copies of this beautiful software. Thank you ever so much. Thank you. Standing here with the great Colin McDowell. How the devil are you?
I'm Warren. How are you?
I'm good.
To see you. Nice to see you.
It's good to be seen.
Yes, in person.
In person, real people with no masks on.
I know, it's kind of crazy. We'll see how it lasts.
Yeah. So, it's your 25th anniversary, which is nuts because we've had this conversation before. Dave Jordan was an incredibly early adopter of yours. I was making a record with him in '98.
Yeah.
And when did you start? Sorry,
98.
98. And he's like, had all these like green plug-in-y things. And I think you're probably one of the first people to actually do, I suppose, what would be technically called third-party plugins.
Yeah, we were the third-party developer. There was Waves, there was Focusrite, and there was us.
Yeah, I forgot about Focusrite. So that shows you, yes. Make of that which you will, but yeah, the reality, you and Waves. That's amazing, absolutely amazing. And here you are, you still make probably some of the finest sounding plugins ever made.
We have some of the finest sounding customers that ever mixed, so we have to keep making the finest sounding plugins, otherwise they won't use our stuff.
So 25 years, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What do you have that's new on your tracks? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I guess we did make that SA3 spectral processor. It's just like the SA2 dialogue processor that got Emmy for a couple of years ago. People said, more bands, more bands, more bands. Okay, so the SA3, it basically has more bands. And new for the show, we're going to have the Windows version ready in February.
Congrats.
So that'll be good. And then for the APB, the analog processing box, we have a new module called BOB. That's Bass Optimized Bias, for those of you in acronyms. And, you know, if you think your mix has low end, well, unless it has BOB, it doesn't. Anyway.
So tell me about Bob, because I actually, that's a thing that hardware only seems to work for me. I've been told about all these different fancy like plugins and stuff like that. So if you can do this, you're doing it in the APB, which means, did you come to similar conclusions that maybe it was a good idea to do it in an analog realm but digitally controlled? Yep. What are you going to tell me with that?
Well,
pose that question.
I'm going to guess that in your studio, your speakers can replicate 35 hertz, and you can make it sound great. But then the average consumer of the audio probably doesn't have speakers or earbuds that can replicate 35 hertz. So what do? Well, you can still generate all that wonderful low end, but then you should saturate it somehow, maybe with an analog circuit, to generate all those harmonics so that low end is still audible even at the higher harmonic order.
Aha!
So, I mean, that's an old trick, but it works really well in the Bob APB plugin, which is why we did it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it'll be ready. It's actually ready now. I told the internet like March, but I think we're done. So anyway, it'll be another free update to every APB hardware owner, provided you've registered your product. We'll be sending out the authorizations soon.
There's a bit of Devo going on here. What would that be about?
So McDSP, like every other software third-party developer ever signed up on the Pro Tools platform, they all went through one guy named Ed Gray. Ed wasn't the guy that would rubber stamp the, yeah, good luck. He'd advocate for us, point us in the right direction. He really helped out a lot of people. You may have seen the ad for him in the Upbeat magazine on Thursday, the first day of the NAMM show. Ed passed away a week after Thanksgiving, and Ed loved Devo. So I thought it'd be cool if we put a bunch of Devo hats and Devo pins on our badges to kind of go, Ed, you're still the man. And even one of the guys from Devo came by and signed one of the hats. I thought it was pretty cool. We'll give it to Ed's wife. Ed Gray, everybody.
It was amazing.
Any software product you've ever used on the Avid platform, it all went through Ed.
And for guys like us, when you're dealing with, say, a very large corporation, it was always nice to have a person that would always pick up your call, always answer your email within 24 hours, sometimes significantly quicker, and that was Ed.
Yeah.
Every person I ever said, somebody would come up to me and say, oh, you know, Warren, I've been trying to get hold of Avid to get this approved or that approved. I was like, here, let me loop you in with Ed. Boom, dealt with.
Yep, yeah, he's just a great human being. It's a bummer he's no longer with us, but it's my first NAMM show without him. But anyway, it's good to be a good person.
Yep.
People remember you for that stuff, and we want to remember Ed today or for the show, and that's what we're doing.
Marvelous.
So this is the SA3. Now it's got a bunch of other controls. You can just ignore them for right now. All you gotta do is instantiate it and just turn up this teal colored detect control. Because customers wanted to have like over 1,000 bands, I'm like, well, that's really tedious to adjust. So basically, even these like 5 biasing curves, these are the same biasing curves from the SA2. I just gave you full control over them. So if you want to, just do the highs, just do the lows, you want a parametric, you want a different kind of EQ curve, then we can do all these things, all in the, if you will, the bias curve here. It has a focus control, so it's trying to pick out those persistent harmonic overtones that you don't want in the mix. You can actually focus on the more persistent ones, or just try to kind of get all of them. Some people have asked me, well, is focus control kind of like an AI? And I'd say, well, yes it is. It's looking for signal trends. But since my wife's done things like put stuff on Mars, I know what an AI really is, and know that this one, at its basic form, is maybe barely a very simple one. So let's just call it focus, okay? Great. Anyway, it has a density control, so as you catch those harmonics, those persistent peaks, you can actually get all their harmonics as well by turning up density. You got attack and release, other stuff. But basically, it's just another tool to help you finish off your mix. If I was Warren Buick, I wouldn't have the need for this probably, or maybe I would. Like if if I mic'd like a guitar 6 different times and all those room overtones were just amplified over again and again and again, when I added up all those tracks together, all of a sudden I had some persistent, why is it whining right there? And this thing would just find it automatically and take care of it. You can still bias the curve and do all these other things with it, but mostly just turn the teal knob, detect, and you're good to go. And here's the Bob module, just in case you see it before. If you're familiar with the Bob module from the 6060 Ultimate Module Collection, that's these 4 controls. You know, how much low end bias do you get? How much frequency you get? It still operates out of this guy. Frequency selective compression, 2 different shapes, within 2 stages of analog gain. First is pure analog gain with a little bit of saturation compression, 2 modes there, and then a calibration switch, you know, very informatively labeled 1 and 2, but you'll get the idea eventually. When the button's pressed, it might be a little bit out of calibration for more low-end saturation. If it's not pressed, you get a more perfect thing. Anyway, and a headroom control. So if you want to hit the saturation curves less, you can do that, or you can hit them more. In addition to Bob, the latest APB plugin, now, on Pro Tools at least, any APB plugin can work at any hardware buffer size. So if you want to track with an APB plugin, you can do that, or you can just mix with it. And there you go. Those are all free updates. All these plugins are free to any registered APB hardware owner. You just have to register it. And there you go. That is the equivalent rundown of my spiel for the NAMM show, sir.
How many? But we're on day 4, so you've got it down. Let's say you've pretty much got it down.
The first presentations were kind of lousy. This one was I give myself a B minus, maybe B plus.
Colin has very generously given us 3 of these to give away. So there's been a link down below to enter to win 1 of 3 copies of the SA3. Thank you ever so much, my friend.
Thank you, Warren.
Always great.
Always good.
So long, farewell, la wiedersehen, au revoir, adios. How the devil are you? You doing well?
Yeah, thanks.
It's always great. When was the last time we saw each other? Oh,
in studio scene in Hamburg.
In Hamburg, yeah. That's a good excuse. But isn't it nice to come from Europe, where it's freezing cold and raining or snowing, to here where it's like swelteringly hot? You can actually wear a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
So what have you got new for us?
Yeah, this is a prototype, what we show here at NAMM. So it's a Class A discrete recallable channel strip.
Nice.
Yeah. So really we put everything in what you need as a mono producer. So it starts with a preamp. We have a 3-band EQ with included dynamic section here. So followed by a compressor section, VCA, and a specific flavor section. So you can add tonality to the sound with warmth, with saturation, with some sunrise passive thing going on. Then we have included a complete monitor solution here for the artist, so to provide them with a latency-free signal path. So these are headphone outputs, and if you press here the artist, they can feed in an external playback, and then you mix the signal here with the playback, and then you have to, and also we included reverb, so you can apply immediately reverb to the artist. But also,
that's insane.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, and then
I'm
you
trying
have
to take this all in. Yeah.
Yeah, then you have also an engineering side. So as an engineer, you can have a complete different mix during the recording and toggle between.
So basically, you could use this with a higher latency kind of thing, but bypass that.
Yeah.
Give them a mix directly from this.
Exactly.
If you do, okay, I get it.
So to provide the best possible monitor solution to the artist, latency-free, and also as an engineer, you have immediate control. If the artist needs more level for himself, one button, bam, you are there. So to really focus on the performance of the artist, and this thing is doing the rest. And we also have a talkback, so you feed in any kind of microphone from the back for best communication.
Amazing.
Yeah, this comes with up to 23 internal presets, and then later come up with a plugin that will do the connections with the gear to have all the setups within your session.
When's the plugin coming out?
I mean, the plugin, the whole thing is under development now. So hopefully it will be ready end of the year, but we get some feedback now here at NAMM, and we get really positive feedbacks, I have to say.
This is awesome. So Chanix, when are you thinking you're going to release this?
Hopefully at end of this year, but hopefully at next year at NAMM it's in the market.
Okay. Thanks for giving us a little sneak peek.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Stefan, how the devil are you?
Warren, it's good. Good to see you again.
Always good to see you.
Last time in Hamburg.
Yeah, we love Hamburg. We love Hamburg. All right, so what have you got?
So this is our classic. This is known by now. This is called the Reupel Comp 2. It's a very new analog tube compressor.
Yep.
And when we built it, our goal was to build the fastest Verimio on the planet.
Nice.
And we've sort of accomplished that, I would say.
Great. It's funny because Look who's over there. Ivana.
Look who's over there. She knows about it.
She knows about Verimuse.
I don't think I get the approval from her, but she knows about it.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell me, just walk us through it.
So you have input-output gain. These are not stepped. You have a threshold control. I need to say there's a dual mono units, which means you can use them totally separate from each other. Pick on one, a bass guitar on the other one, or you can use them together in stereo. In that case, you basically copy the setting from one to the other.
What's interesting is, well, I used to love the idea of a stereo Verimuse, but the more I started, I used to use them on acoustic guitars or electric guitars and tame them and bring them in. And then I started like experimenting on master buses just because I saw mastering engineers use them in their rack. But I didn't know that every single mastering engineer does not use them in stereo.
They use it at not only, you mean they're not using it in link mode? Yes. Yeah. Because, I mean, there's really, if you get into the details, there's different volumes or depending on the panning, and that helps when you actually can control them separately. And nowadays you have a scope, I mean, you have a so good metering that you can actually set them very close.
Yeah, set them very, very close. Exactly. You can see what you're hearing rather than hear what you're saying, or vice versa.
One other little cool feature, we have Fab actually is sort of involved in a little bit, and when we did our revision to Comp 2, there was a Comp 1, which 50 units are out there that are Comp 1s, and then we switched to Comp 2. This one actually features amp only. So if you don't want to compress, if you just want that sound, if you just want a little bit grit on bass or on your master bus, then you go to amp only mode and you can drive it with input as hard as you want to.
Lovely.
Yeah,
very nice indeed. How much is it?
Straightforward, $5,000.
5,000 buckaroonies.
Yes.
Gorgeous.
Quickly about the sidechain one.
Yeah, what's the sidechain one?
Okay, sidechain one, 2 years ago, I've been good friends with Luca Bertolesi. He's touring around the world and he's using a very expensive compressor and a very expensive EQ, and the very expensive EQ is his sidechain for his very expensive compressor. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So I said, I'll build a unit for you that does it all in one box. So from here, you have 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, freely adjustable. So any frequency you want or any band you want, you select here. Yeah. You can listen to it. You get out of listen, and once you selected the frequency, that triggers a VCA, absolute neutral clear compressor path with threshold to start, attack release, and output gain. So,
what's your fastest attack time?
At 0.1. would be the answer. What I tried to do when you start with the tinted or with a not a potentiometer, we try to do the biggest range of attack and release time that we have, so that you can use it for squashing, but you can also use it for gentle de-essing or gentle stereo progressing.
Excellent. And how much do these go for?
The bundle is $3,000. So the two together, it's a mono channel.
Oh, I see.
We sell them as a bundle or single for $1,500.
$1,500. Excellent. Yes. Wonderful.
Thank you. And the plugin is out since about half a year, which is done by Process Audio.
Okay.
The guys, and you can get that if you don't have the 5K. You can at least start there and listen to it.
All right, marvelous. Thanks very much.
Thank you,
Andrew. How the devil are you?
Good.
Are you good?
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Good. So what do you got going on here?
This is our new model. It's called the M28.
Great.
It's a FET design this time, and not a tube mic like the M1. However, not a FET version of the M1. It's its own design. This time we chose a CK12 capsule as well instead of the M7. I wanted to do something different, also to cater for a certain part of the market as well that prefers to have a boosted top end. It's only the only top end boost is really coming from the capsule itself. The circuit design is again as the M1 very, very flat. We have a 5 polar pattern on this on a switch at the back, and there'll be a 6 and 12 dB pad as well on the back of the thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's it retailing at?
It's going to be round about the 3,000 euro mark. I would imagine. We actually built in. They actually have stepped switches built into the thing because I couldn't find a switch that was, in my opinion, good enough that wouldn't break. So there's little mini Grey Hill switches.
I love it. Eric can come around and check it out.
Yeah, and just basically firing up on the inside instead of front panel switches at the end of the day.
Where are you building them?
In Berlin.
In Berlin?
Yeah, so we built everything. Our metalwork comes from EU, but everything. I have a very small little workshop in the middle of Berlin that we built myself.
Wonderful.
And someone else. Yeah.
We love Berlin. What an amazing city.
Yeah.
How long have you been there?
I've been there 2004. I moved originally. Then I spent like 3 years in Australia as well in between all of that. Then 2009 again back in Berlin and settled.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for showing us that.
Thank you very much.